Get to it. Show these clowns where I'm from. BC for life. BC for life. I rep BC, that's where I'm from. I'm gonna torture these daggone Battlefield clowns until they make me a proper Battlefield bad company game. Make me a bad company game. I don't want these. Look, they don't even want to let me join. That's how bad they know it's gonna be. They ain't got no bourbon over there. No hard liquor. Ain't got no vodka over there. You will?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Absolutely.
You promise?
I sure do.
I'm hungry.
How much have you eaten already?
I ain't eating nothing today, hardly. I ate some chicken and that was early this morning, like around 5, 6 o'clock.
What are you eating chicken at 5, 6 o'clock in the morning?
Because it's good. Because I had to finish it off before it went bad. That chicken has an expiration date on it. When you buy it, you gotta get it while it's hot.
Eat the Popeyes.
What Papa?
Popeye chicken over there.
Ew, that stuff is disgusting. I only eat Popeye's chicken breasts. I won't eat their wings ever again. I'll eat a breast, but not no wings. Their wings are terrible. There's more bread in the meat. Talking about this crispy chicken. Yeah, it's crispy, alright. You're getting a whole bunch of crispy breaded.
Of course, it's 5 hardwoods. I don't have hardwoods. I'm not going to shut the dream right now.
This dude, one player by himself, and locked it. What a bum.
I got all the iron. I can make all the iron.
What the fungazi?
I'll make an iron set.
What the fungazi? The service must have went. All the servers must have crashed or something. Something going on. It's Saturday. It should be bopping. It's popping on a weekday. It should be definitely popping on a weekend. I was just playing it. What happened?
Unlike any other. The reason I wanted to surprise my daughter This video is brought to you by NVIDIA and the new MSI GP66 Leopard 30 series laptop, which I got to check out as part of this review. Stick around to hear more about how NVIDIA's and MSI's next-gen hardware can transform the way you play. One day, when I'm an old man and I retire from the YouTube grind, I'm going to sell my Lambo and all my pixel art NFTs that I bought for $100 million and this weird, creepy baby in a jar thing that I got with my copy of Death Stranding. And I'm going to move out to the woods in a little log cabin, and there, on an old-timey typewriter, I'm going to write my book. And you know what it's going to be called? It's going to be called Dumbass. The inside story of a man who wasted too much of his life playing broken looter shooters at launch.
Broken looter shooters at launch. Do not play games at launch anymore. Wait until a sale to play video games these days. Show these developers that you are not taking it anymore. All they do is just shout out broken pieces of crap. It ain't like it used to be. All games come out broken nowadays. Stop buying them when they first come out, period.
I'm ready to tell you what
Play something old.
And let me begin by saying this. I really hate that I can't recommend this to you. Outriders tacitly positioned itself as the anti-looter shooter, promising a campaign worth playing, a story with some actual effort put into it, build diversity that matters
What
in the campaign.
the heck is going on with this game?
Play on day one rather than needing
About to get back on Resident Evil if I can't play.
And the thing is, they did it. The absolute madmen and women at People Could Fly delivered everything they promised. This is a superbly well-designed game, so much so that I am at times in awe of just how they managed to pull this off. It's some of the most balls-to-the-walls ridiculous loot flexibility I've ever seen in a looter, with perks that just should not exist because they're so fucking strong, and yet the game hangs together. There are viable choices across the different classes, skill trees, and perk pools. Encounter design doesn't completely crumble under the weight of all this flexibility, but nor does it feel like this impenetrable wall of bullet sponge enemies who just one-shot you when they glance in your general direction. So they pulled it off. They really did. Better than I anticipated, in fact. But my God in heaven, if this game isn't absolutely fucking balked at the moment. The technical issues this game suffers from right now are so profound and so destructive that it's just impossible to recommend this product at the moment. It's not just the server issues you've heard so much about, it's also client stability, where this game has crashed more than any other PC game I've ever reviewed. It's also just the general bugginess, some of which can completely wipe your character progress.
Wow.
You spent dozens of hours grinding.
Wipe your character progress? Crazy.
Outriders positioned itself as the anti-live service game, but when it comes to the technical side, it does a pretty good job of aping every single one of the technical issues that have plagued this style of game. The good news, though, is that unlike so many of the unfinished, uninteresting, phoned-in, microtransaction-laden live service scams we've endured, Outriders is really good. And when the fog of all these technical issues has lifted, we're going to be left with a brilliant game that I suspect will have a big, bright future as one of the new pillars of the looter shooter genre. I can't recommend Outriders to you yet, but when I can, I'm going to recommend it to you very strongly. Outriders is a game set in a post-apocalyptic future where rednecks have stormed the DC Capitol. The developers claim that this line of dialogue was a coincidence, by the way. That's one hell of a coincidence. Global warming wins and humanity is pushed into an interstellar life raft to survive. Arriving at the planet Enoch, or Nutty as it's more affectionately known, an elite vanguard unit known as Outriders are charged with the task of making landfall first. You play as one of these Outriders, and while your first moments on Enoch are green fields and wandering herds reminiscent of the first act of Jurassic Park, it soon turns into poisonous black goo, debilitating storms, and giant killer monsters reminiscent of the rest of Jurassic Park. For some reason, your character is put on ice for 30 years and awakens to find that Enoch wasn't quite the paradise everyone hoped for.
Come on, I want to merc something.
One hell of an attitude. Are you fucking kidding me?
Look, I gotta work.
What the heck? What's going on with Battlefield?
On the other hand,
This is right.
with a renewed spring in your step, owing to the fact that you now have superpowers.
Oh my gosh, oh my gosh.
Control over various forms of
Absolutely ridiculous.
tutorial missions later, you're on your hero's quest to find the source.
I'm going back to Final Fantasy. I'm a Resident Evil. Forget this.
Currently forced to endure. As I spoke about,
Forget this.
the looter shooter genre typically doesn't do so well.
I don't know. All the servers must have crashed.
Anemic areas like
It must have been down for maintenance or something.
currently smearing some story over their limited areas in-game missions like Anthem, or they're completely divorced from the in-game experience entirely, like Marvel's Avengers, which had a surprisingly good campaign and brought no
Alright, now it's
whatsoever
starting.
to what it would be like to play the game after you roll the credits. There are some exceptions to this, of course. The Borderlands series has always had a satisfying campaign, even if Borderlands 3's writing was pretty insufferable. And The Division 2 had an excellent campaign that did mirror what it would be like to play the game at endgame. It's just that the post-launch updates for that game were nowhere near regular or meaty enough to compete in what is already a highly competitive genre. Outriders' campaign feels so unique compared to everything else because it looks at all the failures of those other games and says, not today. It clocks in at a meaty 25 plus hours depending on how you approach it, so it's anything but short. It serves up story right the way through, and while opinions on it are mixed, you can tell the developers really didn't half-ass the effort. The campaign missions are entirely separate from the missions you'll run at the endgame, so no recycled content. But unlike Avengers, it's all connected by a combat loop and a loot game that doesn't sit idle and wasted until you reach the endgame. You start to feel all of the components working together almost immediately. As I said in my preview, Outriders isn't a game where you need to play for 50 hours to find
Anytime you want to touch the ground, man, you
right
can.
away. And just on that basis alone, Outriders is doing a hell of a lot better than many of its contemporaries. When it comes to the story, there's definitely mixed opinion on this one. The thrust of it is essentially a road trip. Like imagine Mad Max Fury Road, complete with everyone being a kind of pissed off asshole.
We have taken
Mad
objective
Max was
apples.
essentially perfect. And this is definitely not. A lot of people have really enjoyed the story and found it a compelling character story. They put to a cast of characters that they want to learn more about. Yeah, I actually agree with that. Got some unconspirated soldiers and ruthless warlords, and one dude who seems like an NPC pulled straight from GTA. Oh, thank fucking God! About time they sent an altered. One of the big surprises
Oh my
here was just
gosh.
how well voice acted all of this is. There's humanity in this writing, and the voice actors do a great job of conveying that.
That's what I wanted anyway. Daggone tank. I'm about blowing something up right about now. I'm gonna feel cool. Come on, let's say fuck.
My biggest problem with this is that the story just goes nowhere. The game never sets up a proper villain, only these great mini bosses.
Sorry, Jane.
Away at a moment's notice. The mystery of the signal looks like it's going to this great big reveal, like a huge plot twist that really clicks everything into place and opens up so many possibilities. Instead of just completely face plants its finale, delivering something so boring, so lame, just bad. You might ask, should I play this game for the story? Some people will say yes.
Shut up.
Those people. I think there's a lot of reasons to play this game, but in my book, the story is one of them. The campaign structure is fairly straightforward. There's a world map that you're making your way across, and each of the nodes represented areas of explore. Explore really isn't the right word though, since what you'll find is that each of these spaces are very linear. There might be a choice to go left or right at certain points, but that's a choice points to get to the main path.
And remember,
Where it keeps you up, which when you're done with it, you
why would you run into my tank? You idiot! You idiot!
That isn't continuous like you see here. It's actually a set of individual sections broken up into loading screens. So if you want to go to a new area, it like fades to black, and then your character will like lift a log
Wow, man.
over a gap.
Plane
That
blew me
fades to
up.
black, and then it fades
The
back
regular
into
plane
the area
bombs.
and keep going. It's like
Yeah.
the old school Resident
Let's
Evil
get out. Give it to me.
from the PS1 days. Only these are worse because you know the technology has
No! Pick the wrong day. Gonna
There's also the
Kit.
issue where in order to move to a specific location in a different zone on the world map, you first need to fast travel back to your camp. That's a loading screen. Talk to this NPC, select the destination, that's a loading screen, and then you go over to your flag, select a new destination, another loading screen, and then you walk over to your final destination, another loading screen, and then you're back in.
Really, you
See?
can't get out.
Seamless. Much of the critical commentary about Outriders has been that
I
it
mean,
feels last-gen. I don't agree with this in general, but I do agree with it when it comes to this fragmented design.
let me in. Let me in. Let me in.
Constantly interrupted, and it really starts to
We have
grate.
lost objective
And it
apples.
just, yeah, it feels outdated. It feels violate fundamental
Give me your tags, bitch.
that do a far, far better job than this. Many people are
Give me your freaking soul, bitch.
They're absolutely right. Perhaps of all the looter shooter campaigns I've played, except maybe Anthem, this one is the close and repetitive, that doesn't mean it's bad.
This is
Where you at?
skills I've learned. This is where the moments I love happen.
It's all good,
This is
homie.
where I grew up, and it's also where I serve.
The U.S. Army Reserve. You train at least one
Where you at? Where you at?
Here, you learn the skills to lead and succeed in life while staying close to home. Part-time service, full-time success. Go armyreserve.com.
Bit.
We have lost objective.
Shut up, bit.
Inspired by our racing spirit.
Open the freaking door.
Racing for a great deal on the Honda CR-V. Oh, and the Honda Dream Garage Spring. See, the way it works is that you'll arrive at a new destination. You'll have to go to some point on the map to kill
I don't want no bases. I want people.
shit, and that's it. There's zero variance to the
Give me your freaking head, bit.
no missions where you need to hold down the point. There are no objectives where
Clown.
you need to support a troop carrier and stop it from taking damage. There are no like timed mission things where you need to support for
Heck.
a certain period of time. You never pilot any vehicles. There's no effort to dress up these missions at all. You can do anything other than
Spawn on me, clowns.
place, just loading screens, shoot the things.
Get out of here, you daggone stupid daggone assault rider.
As we talked about on this job,
That's how you want to do.
this face is to trick you into not noticing they are repetitive by creating a 30-second
Clown. Freaking clowns.
This game throws just enough enemy variety, just enough level design variety, and more than enough loot to just keep you plowing forward. You're always doing the exact same thing in Outriders, but you're never getting bored of it because people can find and nail down the fundamentals of their game so soundly. We're going to talk about those fundamentals in a separate block.
Clown.
Talk about the technical side of this game because I don't want to get you all hyped up.
Nothing in front of me is gonna take me out. Everything behind me better take me out. Cause I'm not getting killed by anybody in front of front. Better shoot me in the back for real, for real. Cause that's the only way you gonna get me.
We have taken objective George.
The only way, buddy.
This was an actual demo, mind you. You can take the full pro, and it was open
Better
to
shoot me in my back.
download on some pre-run bullshit. Not only did this demo give us a chance to check out the game and see if we liked it, it gave
We have taken objective Alpha.
Wait, shoot me in a way that I can't see you.
structure, iron out technical issues, and trim the sails on any glaring gameplay balance problems that popped up. Hell, the demo was patched twice before the game was even released, so you think the
Give me a take,
this
bit.
would be in pretty good shape. Hell no! Outriders continues the long
Clowns.
looter shooters being absolute.
That's all you got. That's all you got.
During their launch windows. Why is this a thing? Why is this genre so cursed? Anyway, let's talk about issues. Service stability was
That's all you got.
during the first 1 or 2 days.
That's all you got.
We couldn't log in for long stretches of time.
I better stop sniping and freaking actually start playing.
When they finally did get in, it just went back to the screen. For whatever reason, progress is being made on these server issues though, and when they do stabilize, eventually, people start to realize just how fucking broken this game is from a stability perspective.
Whatever, clown. Got you now, buddy.
So now that's a big call.
Clown.
Played all the bullshit Anthem until the 76, Avengers, whatever.
He ain't even get me. I burned myself to death. Bums. Like I said, nothing in front of me getting me.
Times. I mean, one crash an hour. Feels generous. It's not like that. Crashes can occur at any time, whether it's true combat.
Into that 1% health. Wow.
Interestingly enough, the game saves crashes.
He had 1% health.
When I went into my app data folder, I had around 20 gigabytes of crash data just sitting there on my hard drive. So be sure to delete that if you're brave enough to play at the moment. Bottom line, see, this is one of the worst games I've played from a stability perspective. Like, ever. Full stop. Ever.
Pussies. Keep sniping behind freaking cover.
Take that first aid. Console performance
I'ma get you.
Losing objective butter.
Server issues I spoke about existed then
It's
as
your
well.
freaking tags, bitch.
Way more stable in terms of crashing. I've only spent about 5 hours working through it. No crashes during that time. Also, people are playing exclusively on consoles. The game is a lot more stable there. They have full party network connections though, with widespread reports of people simply being disconnected from one another when they're in a party. So that's server stability and client stability. Let's talk about bugs. There are definitely plenty of bugs. Even if you send your matchmaking to friends only, random people will keep joining your party. Your HUD will constantly disappear for no reason, and you can't see your abilities. You can't interact with anything in the world.
We have taken
There was this
objective
one bug
Charlie.
where my character is just invisible and I can't do anything, and I need to restart the game. Enemies would often float in the air. We found one bug where the Devastator's ability would constantly make the enemy on the map, and if one enemy falls to the map during a mission, the mission failed.
Stop shooting me in the back.
Enemies to progress, so that's really annoying. It's also very common for your drops to not be saved server side.
You need a tank. You definitely need a tank.
Drops, only to then crash, and then the drops have just mysteriously vanished from my inventory by the time I log back in. The biggest issue though is an absolutely game-breaking bug doing the rounds right now associated with matchmaking. If you try and matchmake at the end game, you get bug out, and it will delete every single item you have.
All the way over there. All the way over there.
For this reason, I strongly recommend that you do
My man is clear across the whole map.
So yeah, just a few issues with this
What a
game.
poor nana.
Performance-wise, this is a mixed bag. Consoles first, on both the Xbox Series X and the PS5. I was extremely impressed with performance. This isn't a particularly there's a lot going on at any time. A lot of enemies, a lot of particle effects, a lot for your console's GPU to crunch. Both consoles handle things flawlessly. They employ dynamic resolution scaling to keep things between 1440p and
This thing
4K. I
sucks.
certainly experienced rock-solid frame rates when I tested it.
Absolutely.
Reliable Digital Foundry did their own tests on the demo. Xbox Series X
Oh my gosh, we got planes blowing us up and everything.
Rarely dropping below 60.
Yeah.
So you can expect the game to run at 30 FPS.
Get freaking clowns.
Menu is decent. You now choose the camera shake during cutscenes, which is a godsend because my god, that was bad. You can change your field of view up to a max of 90, which isn't great to be honest. I personally play all games at 105.
Of course they do.
Narrow for my taste, particularly when you're aiming down sights, since your character just takes up so much of the damn screen and you lose so much of your peripheral vision. There is now also a motion blur.
Of course we do.
Motion blur sucks. One thing that isn't there though is a screen shake toggle, and this is a big problem because at the end game, a lot of it is about being surrounded by enemies that just love shaking your screen. One enemy type in particular is just out of control. You can barely aim your weapon
Two
sometimes.
daggone players 40 and nothing. That's how you know you on a team that sucks. No choppers in the air, no nothing. No nothing.
Desktop PCs, RTX 3080 at 1440p ultra settings, and an RTX 2080 Ti running at 4K ultra settings. Across both machines, frame rates were better than expected, but were wildly inconsistent. I played on a 144Hz monitor on my RTX 3080, and I was able to hit that, but just as often
We have
things
taken
would drop down
objective
to like
George.
80 frames, and it wasn't necessarily because of on-screen action.
Ain't no
just
daggone sense.
Same goes for the 2080 at 4K resolution. I generally sat at around 100 frames there.
At the top of the list with 4,000.
Like pretty much anything that has
Stupid.
DLSS does a huge amount of heavy lifting here. There are a number of
Team
DLSS
suck.
settings that will up the intensity of it, but the bottom line is that I picked up at least 25% more stability when I had it enabled. I wasn't able to magically keep at a steady frame rate, it just gave me a higher average frame rate, which is better than nothing. Outside of this, the frame rate performance of Outriders is better than I thought it would be. Certainly coming off the back of stuff like massive frame rate fluctuations really hurt combat because it would dip so low.
We have lost a
At least on these GPUs, and when you're using DLSS, you can maintain the 60 FPS you're looking for, and the rest is smooth gravy. I know we always want more frames, but what I'm saying is that you're not going to wipe because your game suddenly drops to 15 FPS. mistakes, the constant crashes, the constant fear of my loop being deleted. It was terrible, and it's such a shame because I low-key love this game, and where it is in a passable state, I would recommend it to you today. As it stands, as I said before, Outriders kind of positioned itself as this anti-live service shooter, but it still has all the problems that that genre is supposed to. We were all hoping Outriders would be different. I was hoping it would be
I
different.
don't want no flame trooper kit. I want their heads.
But let's pretend for a moment that this game works. What's it like when it comes to combat? I'm gonna tell you, it's fucking great. I love it. And goddamn, it's so good. A while back, I talked about the fact that while the Outriders campaign was really repetitive, it was also really good. And I put this down to the fact that people could fly arrived at a gameplay loop that they knew worked, so they just wrote that to the finish line. So what goes into that gameplay loop? Right now revolves around the fact that Outriders has really cool gear, which it certainly does, and some really cool perks on that gear, which it certainly does. I think a lot of people
I'm not responding with these dudes suck. My death squad suck. I'm not even doing death squad no more. They still sitting on it, and this squad is not even. This squad not even spawned at all. These dudes still sitting, coming off a G. Idiots. Spawn me in front of a daggone tank. Ah, I hate playing with bummy players. Gosh!
The trickster is your assassin, displacing space and time to slow it.
Most annoyingest thing ever.
That's exactly what you expect. The Tender Man says your backline range defenses or class capable of dealing immense single-target damage. To play Destiny through single characters to experience most of what the game has to offer. Destiny's classes are different from one another, but subtly so, because much of the way that you play Destiny is about the weapons you have equipped rather than the inherent design of the classes. In Outriders, the differences in class design are much more profound because a much larger portion of your moment-to-moment
Get the daggone base.
usage and the way your abilities can be modified or further enhanced through weapon and gear perks. I don't think it's unfair to say that if you've played only one character in Outriders, you really won't be experienced about a game has to offer. The classes are just so damn fun. My trickster is like, I love her so much. She throws out these temporal knives to slow down bad guys. She's peeling back their skin with her spectral blade. She's going full blender mode, just mincing fools. She's teleporting here and there and everywhere, completely bamboozling the enemy. She's doing up this massive time thing that just makes you feel like a sure at excellent potency. There's just so much in these things. They're all stacked with these interesting, unique abilities that are also playable. And just use these classes. They aren't ragdolls that are weapons and armor. The classes are your weapons, and the gear you get just makes those classes stronger and more interesting. Bullet builds is a hot topic at the moment. Long story short, 3 of the classes have a specific ability.
We have taken
that
objective
massively
apples.
buffs weapon damage, and if you mod it and combine it with specific perks, you get
I shot Sarah.
absolutely shreds everything. There's a lot of build diversity in the Outriders at the moment.
But I did shit that deputy too, baby. I shot Sarah. And I also shot the deputy, baby.
And as a result, within the first week the game was out, these abilities were nerfed. No buffs were provided to keep
I shot Sarah.
For the record, I think these abilities actually suck.
And I also shot the deputy, baby.
Just the ability equivalent of weapons go brrr. Having said that, this is a PvE game, and those abilities, they weren't hurting anyone. People were just using them because they gave them a clear shot at beating in-game content, and if that's not the point,
Good. Good for you.
at the very least, if people can fly and pair these nerfs with appropriate buffs to other abilities, particularly underperforming.
Focus. I ain't got time for Animal Planet right now.
Anyway, outside of this issue, I think people can fly to these classes like this is going to be one of the biggest reasons. Gunplay is a different story. Coming back to the Destiny example, you may not want to play this in different classes, but you can certainly play
Oh, you freaking clowns!
I'm looking right at an enemy soldier. Enemy machine gun. Enemy machine gun.
You gotta be kidding me right now! Why is my freaking gun freaking jumping all around the freaking dang on target and it won't let me put it on him?
Distinct within your arsenal. Outriders doesn't achieve this. There are limited.
It has a suppressing effect or something? What the freak?
Like assault rifles. SMGs, which are basically like assault rifles.
Dumbass, man!
Basically like assault rifle. Recoil. Pump action shotgun, automatic shotgun, rifles and
If that's what it is, and I freaking know to do something different.
reductive in the way I'm describing them, but they definitely
Sitting laying on the ground and I can't freaking put my vertical on them.
the assault rifle and
Stupid.
gun and LMG categories in particular. The similarities
Look
between
at this dumbass glitching.
different enough. There are legendaries in this game, but from what I can tell, their legendary status comes from the
Dumb video games, man.
they don't come from unique handling profiles that make them
I'm out. I don't even want to play this right now.
that it's possible that, as I
I think it's stupid. This server's gonna